Hello and welcome everyone to a fresh new episode of Heart on Radio. Is your heart on? If it's not, it will be by the end of this episode. I promise you that. I'm Shana Eva, and I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I have a very special guest in the house. He has been here before, and we're so excited to have him back. This is a very special episode because we're taking live calls. So this really requires participation, audience participation. Is there anyone out there? This is going to require you guys to call in with your questions. We want to hear from you, and this is really why we created Heart on Radio. We want to unite and band together and share information and intel and downloads as this amazing transcendent time happens, jumping to a very much higher dimension and frequency. So with that, let's take a few breaths to ground and unite and weave a little beautiful web of powerful 5D consciousness and higher level frequencies. So here we go.
I think what I'm going to do is rip a little bit about the conscious level of humanity and the conscious level of everything going on behind the scenes while everyone gets their questions ready. Right now, through the ether and through the upper dimensions, the main functionality is choices. What type of choices are you making in your 3D life to actually either help you on your path, in your expansion, in your growth, or things that are slowing you down? The main function of this is everyone individually is responsible for their own actions and their own energies right now. There is no one to blame. The reflection is upon thyself. If you choose to live a certain way and move at a certain speed, there is no other person behind that wheel besides you that is making those specific directions and decisions in your life. To understand that with the speed which comes with higher levels of consciousness and awareness, you also have to be aware when things are slowing you down, and what are some of the things that you can do in your 3D life to make that a more graceful and awesome transition for you? It does not have to be, the normal, oh no, this is going down, or oh no, this is going down. Rather, what can you do to exemplify the true creation that you hold inside of yourself? What are the things in your life that you can work upon daily to get those goals done? What are some of the things you guys have been manifesting for the last 5, 10, 15 years? What are some of the goals you've had? What are some of the goals you used to have? Why have you not picked up that, basketball and started dribbling again? What is it in your life that distracted you? Sometimes it's 3D stuff. Sometimes there's all kinds of, different things that happen to us down here in this reality. But to truly express something that I wish to share from my heart, your speed of consciousness is a direct reflection of your level of focus in the physical plane. How much focus, how much energy you put behind something is the speed in which it manifests. Now, that could be a good thing, all right? Or, like I said, when you kind of unconsciously watch some of the consciousness that they're broadcasting out there globally and in the U.S., some of that, fake news or some of that, moral trials.
Distractions. It's always we know what's good. I don't pay attention to it on purpose, but you'll turn on your phone, you'll go to your email, and you'll see what's going on in politics. And it's really just, hey, we want you to look left because something's really going on the right.
Every single time in human consciousness where the entire mass media says everyone look right, the wisest of us looked left. Understand this. This is the way it is. You don't want to be a part of the 88% mass consciousness function when people are trying to pull a fast one on you. Rather, keep your head on a swivel and pay attention to everything that's being projected into the field. That is how think about it, that's a more conscious being. That's a more intelligent being. And to also understand with your own discernment, and that's why talking to your higher selves and following your heart and your intuition is so important. Your higher selves are there to help guide you around some of these distortions of the matrix and the energy so that you don't get caught up in the same potholes that may have caught up your parents and your parents' parents. This same functionality, this program that's been utilized against humanity for quite some time, this is thousands and thousands of years old of programming. So the issue is that don't fall into the same cycle where you're an easy predictability or a probability matrix of exactly what function you shall carry out in this incarnation. You always want to strive to be the exception to the rule. You always want to strive to be the best you can possibly be. And you always want to strive to be the nicest or most awesome version of yourself. And that includes your reflection upon all of your higher selves. I get into great conversations with my higher selves as I float out of my body and talk to them upstairs. My main MO right now, and what I'm truly holding, is can I be the nicest version of myself, plugged in, mind you, to all the different aspects of myself? Can my inner child get behind the wheel and let my heart, my vibration, and my pulse of consciousness truly penetrate through any distortion or density that it lies before me? These simple questions are things that everyone will have to ask themselves. To get there, though, take a deep breath. Understand what is most important to you. That's going to be the love that you have for all things. For why would we be here experiencing all of this and going through all these trials and tribulations if we weren't doing it for a positive or loving reason? No one chooses to suffer. That is a lie. That is what comes after a small function or motivation of people that try to put themselves higher than you. I'm trying to express a level of intelligence that's going to come from this next generation of kids being born right now is going to blow the doors on this planet wide open. They are 10 times more intelligent than their parents. Not 1 or 2, 10 times the speed. 10 times the hardware, the firmware, the biology, the crystalline structure inside of their suit is 10 times faster than their parents. So understand, what might take you 10 years to figure out takes them a year. What takes you 10 months to figure out takes them a month. What takes you 10 days to figure out takes them a day.
Right.
What takes you 10 hours to figure out, they figure out in an hour. What I'm trying to say is understand that it is going to be a much faster speed. And how do you keep up? For all of us indigos out there, me included, right? You got to clean up your hard drive. You got to defrag that hard drive. All of you guys who have those PCs out there, some of you guys have those Macs and some of you guys have the PC. So if you got a PC...
Hey, let's not start a Mac PC war.
Right. They all use Intel chips, so it's all the same thing. What I'm trying to get to is this. You need to defrag your hard drive to be able to uptake the new solar firmware updates coming from our galactic center, coming from our sun, and also coming from the frequency of this planet. The Schumann resonance hit 40 hertz last Friday. The normal Schumann resonance
7.8
is 7.8. We're having 40 hertz Schumann spikes on this planet. There's lots of things going down. We have a lunar eclipse that just took place. Now we have a solar eclipse on August 21st at 9:30 a.m. There are many huge, and that huge event that's happening in September as well. So
yeah, if you missed any of that, go to last week's episode of Hard on Radio with Joseph P. Anthony. We hit all the astrological details, and you guys need to know this. We are days away from the solar eclipse, and what that is going to be carrying to the planet and the kind of upgrades that's going to bring. You want to make sure that you're as clear as possible, clear and quiet as possible. So with that said, I feel like let's try it here with a phone call. Can we do it? You ready, Rion?
All right, are you guys ready listening? If you're listening right now, I hope you have a question.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see if I feel like we're playing like roulette.
This is Russian roulette. Okay. And hello, you're live on the air with Hard on Radio. Who am I speaking with and where are you calling from?
I'm Sheila, and I'm calling from Arizona.
Yay,
Arizona
Sheila.
in the
How are
house,
you?
Sheila. Welcome to the show, my love. I so appreciate you calling in with a question. Is there, what's on the forefront of your mind for Mr. Rion here?
Okay, I wanted to ask a question about ascension. According to David Wilcock, basically he says to ascend, you need to have 13 years of loving thought and not miss a day of it. He always teases that it's very tough for him because he lives in Los Angeles and
very much so.
along the way. So I wanted to know if you felt that that's the only way of ascension, or if there's other ways, or I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Great question. Rion.
I like to think of having happy thoughts as a culmination of a resonance or an average of all of your incarnations that you've spent in this specific place, all of the great deeds you've done in this life and in past lives. People need to understand that time is not linear. All of your great deeds throughout history, everyone you have saved, every kingdom you have defended from adversity, every handshake, every hug, every loving thought that has ever come through your stream, these are also categorized and stored in the archives in heaven. It is not just this simple incarnation. You cannot take a clear judgment call on a being who is unconscious, who wakes up at 29, 30, 40 years old and understands the first 40 years of their life have been completely unconscious. If I was a judge on that jury, I would say, let's take a quick look at, since you woke up and stepped into your heart, how much awesomeness you have done. And then take that average and then compare it to that dharma, right? As in stepping into your purpose, stepping into this real reason and experience why you chose to incarnate on Earth, right? Which I tell many is, this is a 3-generation swing to flip this entire planet. People need to understand this. It's 3 generations to flip this planet in the time allotted from our universal councils. So this speed of acceleration that's slamming into the planet is simply a reminder of these type of deeds. Now, he was referencing the rainbow body of the 13 years that a Tibetan monk would take with pure thoughts of awesomeness. And let me explain something else about this. It's very easy for the monk sitting on the mountain who has not been downtown LA to hold their frequency. It's very easy for the monk with his disciples who, have nothing to worry about other than survive, eat, and meditate and work out to hold a high vibration. I tip my hat to those beings who chose that incarnation wheel, but I also tip my hat completely off to all the beings that chose to incarnate into dense areas and to raise the frequency in those dense areas. To be perfectly honest with you, you are the strongest of the strong to take that job. Mm-hmm. I have lived the life of a monk. And yes, it's very boring at times, but it's also very awesome. But to be completely honest with you, what's going to give you the maximum level of experience? Eating vanilla ice cream every day? Do you think that's going to give you the maximum amount of experience on this planet? No, it's not. It's having all different flavors of ice cream that you have experienced, then using your sovereign will and sovereign choice to choose which ice cream you find the most delicious. To be honest with you, I also like to say is, which of your higher selves do you share the most grandest or the most reflection with? Is it one of your 7D selves, your 9D selves, your high angelic versions? Is it more of your 8D Anunnaki or maybe 10D Draco, let's just say? Which of your higher selves, which of your older brothers, if you think of yourself as the youngest person in the family, and you have all these older brothers and sisters, and we call these brothers and sisters your higher selves, which one do you want to be most like? This is a very simple question that you hold inside your chest. It's not very complicated. It's not very spiritual woo-woo. Truly, which of your higher selves do you wish to be most like? Do you wish to be like a higher self that is service to others? Or do you wish to be with a higher self that is service to self? You have to understand the definition of the polarity you choose as a reflection of those different motivations behind the polarities, the vocabulary terms that make up that light and night function. So with all my friends and family across planet Earth, I wish this for you. I say a 70-30 split. 70% light, 30% night. And why is that? Because I want you to constantly integrate and grow a little bit every day. You don't want to just go 100% light, because the issue is that how much experience or how much stuff are you not taking a look at? The main function is to look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with what's smiling back at you. So I think for that to truly happen and for people to be truly integrated from 3D all the way up, that truth and that truth that comes from deep within your soul needs to be heard. And to do that, you need to work on thyself to gain that experience necessary to make those decisions, to actually choose wisely as a sovereign being on this earth.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to add, that's such a great question. And I'm just going to add that, the Buddhist monks and the people who are incarnating and holding that high frequency up in the mountains, really not actively participating in 3D, we could almost say. They are holding strong pillars of light for us to do our work here in the more dense areas. So it's all interconnected, and I feel that's a really powerful thing, and I appreciate that. And then, God bless and Godspeed to those of us who are in the denser areas. But That was a phenomenal question. Sheila, thank you so much for calling and listening in. We're going to switch to the next caller now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, you're live with Heart on Radio. This is Shana and Rion. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, it's Allie again.
Oh, Allie.
She has her question
Yes.
ready. That was universal.
Allie's ready.
Allie's ready. What is your question, Allie?
Here's my question, because I do astrology, and hopefully you can answer it in some sort of astrological language.
I will do my best.
Thank you. Regarding the solar eclipse that is coming up, I have that solar eclipse is exactly 28 degrees Leo, which is exactly on my natal Pluto of 28 degrees in the third house, and then it is exactly squaring my natal Mars, exact square, 0 degrees, which is in the 11th house, almost in the 12th, in the 11th house.
Beautiful. And the question is?
Almost in the 12th. So the question is, with this solar eclipse on Pluto in the third house, what is going to be the most productive use of that very, very challenging energy because of square with the Mars?
The fire and Pluto, eh? Let me take a question here.
Yes.
Your environment and the density around you surrounds you in a specific manner in which it reminds you of the past, which does not serve you. The things that you need to take a look at when you walk through your house and you actually stare at the walls of the things staring back at you. Are these things that represent the highest level of creation you possess inside of that suit? Or are these things that remind you of the small things you came from? Would you like to constantly be reminded of the cocoon you stared at unconsciously for the majority of your life? Or would you like the highlight reel, which I recommend, is when you busted out of that cocoon and turned into that amazing butterfly and flew into the cosmos? My function is simply this with that setup. The fire, the Maz, which runs that function of action. What action can we take as a collective to clear up our past, come into terms with some of these things, and be reminded of where we're going? Everyone right now is looking left and right like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I like to use this analogy. Say, Allie, me and you are going surfing. You got your surfboard, you got your wetsuit, you're sitting next to me on the beach, okay? We're looking out, and the waves are crashing, and we're looking out, and we're going, oh my God, the waves are 15 foot. I don't know how we're going to make it outside. And the goal is to say, hey, Allie, me and you are going to paddle out. We're going to go through all this density, and we're going to make it. And once we get outside the waves, we shall choose a wave of acceleration of our choosing, not have these waves crash upon us. The main function with clearing up your space and your manifestations and your interactions with other beings is this. You don't want to be caught on shore with 80% of the population who've never even surfed before. You don't want to be caught in a land of attachment and materialism and through density when the entire cosmos opens up and shows you that you are one frame of a movie that is 15 hours long. In that understanding, to know and see the full picture, because you already feel the full picture being connected to astrology and the planets, knowing that there's more information out there. My thing is that, what is it inside of you that you specifically want to work on before the solar eclipse and clear? So when this energy hits, you don't want to be reminded of it. It's like taking a layer of density off of you. If you want to take the full ramifications of what this creation has, let's take a little closer look at what you might not want to bring into the future with you. That's something that you can just look around your house, look at the attachments, look at these things, all this stuff that we haven't done. I call it a black bag special. I get 2 black hefty bags. I walk around my house and I fill those 2 bags with everything that, is kind of, I feel as an attachment, and I donate it to charity. You don't have to do it all the time, mind you. But I'm saying this, if you haven't done it in quite some time and you're trying to step into the new paradigm and new energies, which are coming twice as fast as the ones that came yesterday, understand this. All reflections of your choices are surrounding you 24 hours a day. If you choose to live in that, then you are choosing that. That's the difference. You are actually choosing that density to be surrounded upon you, and those attachments you're saying are okay. You're choosing those. I recommend to everyone listening right now to take a 1 week pause. We're about, what, a week out? No, Sunday.
Yep. Well, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday next week. So
Monday
four,
next
4
week.
days.
I
5
would
days?
say everyone take a little personal time for themselves. Clean your space, clean your car, clean your transport, clean your closet, clean your house, clean your room, clean the garage, donate some things. Clean up your consciousness and your space to get ready for these new energies which come in. Thank you so much, Allie.
And thank you. That's wonderful. Makes total sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, you are live on air with Heart on Radio. This is Shana Eva and Rion. Who are we speaking with? Hello, area code. Oh, Tim in Sedona.
Yeah, baby.
Oh boy, that sounds familiar.
Big boy. We got a big galactic in the house. What do we got, Tim?
Well, guess what? I've also got a astrology question. I've never been a strong investor in that, let's just say, that methodology, because I believe in free will, and I
Yes.
believe our lives are controlled by a lot of our choices. And I have a hard time reconciling how astrological cycles set our destinies and our outcomes, and may actually collide with some of my beliefs of independence and things. So,
Understood.
Rion, help me with that. I struggle.
Got you. Okay, so when we have certain case, I like to walk you guys through the visuals that my guides give me, because I'm a visual learner. I think you are too. When they send off, imagine the center of the galaxy makes a phone call. It sends a pulse of light. This pulse of light is carried on a bandwidth based upon that energy which emits from the center of our galaxy, which talks to all the stars and every single solar system. Pum 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 pum. Pum 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 pum. Every single pulse, every single data wave that sends off gives off an audio, video, and data. For energy equals data. Okay? So as these energies are upgraded and sent from solar system to solar system from our galactic center, okay, in the Milky Way, they literally do firmware updates on every single sun has planets that rotate around them. Most of them. Most systems have the 2-star system, which I personally remember more than this single star system, right, as we have here on Earth. But the firmware updates actually kind of supersede the astrological things, because depending on those alignments, you never know who's behind the wheel sending those specific data codes which come through, because every single level of consciousness on every single planet is a little different. You never know which pulse of increase in frequency may due to the acceleration of those beings on that specific planet. If we said there's a base average of a pulse that comes off the Milky Way galaxy, and every quarter cycle, half cycle, and full cycle, it sends a 25% blast of higher level consciousness, which breaks through any density and gives these amazing ideas to anything they come in contact with. A higher level of thinking, let's just say. Keep it strictly energetic. You know what I mean? No spiritual woo-woo. Keep it just biology, higher frequency levels of energy slamming into the planet. The issue is that the uptake of that information based upon the level of evolution on the planet of that specific, where that energy is hitting, is a direct reflection of what that consciousness, what that planetary consciousness wishes to bring forth, and what they need to, basically work on. I like to call it like a flashlight. You ever been in the garage, Tim, and you turn the lights on, and all the little bugs run away? They're like, oh no! There's the light! Run from the light! Okay, well, the same thing's gonna happen on this planet right now. Okay? The same thing's gonna happen with people's belief systems. The same thing's happening with the different artificial things, which you're aware of, that kind of slow people down. That little 4D artificial net that they have on all the major cities, the bottom of the grid is the dirty electricity coming from the system. It uses the house like a Faraday cage. The cell phone towers are the top of the cage, which control the broadcast frequencies. The other thing that they just newly added, and thanks guys, is the good old smart meters, which send EMP pulses at 3:30 in the morning, which cut your telomeres in half. Now, to remind you of this, Tim, the length of your telomere is actually also a resonance of the length of your life. When you are a child, say, or even young, 19 years old, your telomeres are very long. As you get older, your telomeres get shorter. Hence, the shorter your telomeres, it's actually like a countdown timer for how long you're going to have in that specific suit. So back to the question astrologically of some of these different functions. Think of them as different colors, different spectrums of energy, which reflect other energy data off of, which then takes a direct reflection upon which of those characteristics does our bloodline inherently generate. For example, if you're a little more Palladian, a little more Arcturian, a little more Andromedan, a little more Syrian, let's just say. Imagine how that light reflects through that different frequency or language which comes through your DNA. So the same light coming from our center or from our sun may have a different effect when it activates you based upon your bloodline and actually who's behind the wheel. Does that make sense?
Right. And then your sovereign choice, just like you mentioned before.
To listen to what frequency makes sense for you, which your higher self is actually trying to have you step into your power, right? And which other ones are going, no, because if he steps into his power, I'm also going to have to get my stuff together. Let me express something to you, Tim. Everyone on Earth needs to understand this in a very simple way. Ascension is not just we're in 3D going to 5D. You must also grasp the entire chain of command. All of your higher selves must also shift up in polarity. So when there's one aspect on your stream that doesn't want to do their homework, that doesn't want to graduate, that is fighting tooth and nail to not work on themselves, what you'll find is that is the aspect where a majority of the focus must be on right now to actually shift them into a level of compliance with universal law. This planet is shifting back into a normality of cause and effect, vibration rules the universe, treat others with respect, do unto others as you've had done unto you. It's a very basic principle. The issue is that when in this polarity or duality game, we've given a lot of slack to beings based upon past negotiations of actually what is necessary right now and what's in mankind or everyone's best interest right now. So with the astrology, I do find it has a direct reflection with us, but what we're really feeling is how is that reflection off of that planet or that alignment as it sends energy or data to Earth, how is that affecting me? How is that affecting my higher selves, which thus affects my thought forms? I think it's a more specific direct correlation of like an energy. Does that make sense?
Okay, well, awesome. I think that's
That's
fabulous question, Tim. We're going to switch over to someone else. We have an area code 317.
I think I just blew him up.
I think you blew Tim
I
up,
think I
baby,
blew Tim
but
up.
we love you, Tim.
I love you, Tim.
Let's switch to 317.
Love you, bro.
Hello, you are on air with Hard On Radio. Where are you calling from, and what is your name, please? Hello.
Next, let's just keep clicking.
This
This is fun. Who do we have on the Conscious Network? Here we go.
Okay, you're calling into Hard On Radio. What is your name, and where are you calling from?
All right, I think I just blew the feed. We're good with the questions right now. I'm going to go ahead and take some questions that if you guys are on my Facebook, all my friends that obviously watch this, go ahead and send me some messages right now on the Facebook. I want to talk about some things that are current right now. You guys can go ahead and just send me messages right now. I know there's amazing messages that have come through. Let me just go ahead and punch these up. When we usually
go
ahead.
While Rion does that, I really want to take this opportunity to share the card of the day. I can't express how much I love this deck. This is, again, from the Isis Oracle Alana Fairchild deck. And you really can't make this stuff up. The cards that have been jumping out are just so paramount in exactly what's going on right now. So for today, we have Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Oh, I love that. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. You think?
Tim actually just texted me, call lost. Just not me, but others. Oh, I hope you guys, I'm sorry that the call.
Rion
call
does
back.
that's what happens, honestly. This is like a physical interference that manifests because the frequency is so high. No
Yes.
joke. We lose Facebook feeds. We lose feeds.
We cook computers, cell phones. I go to the grocery store and I actually have to have the lady use my credit card to swipe the machine because my hands are magnetized. When you guys are actually truly becoming true multidimensional beings and you have that much energy and chi going through you, understand that your multidimensional functionality is actually at a higher vibration than your environment. When that happens, everything created in that specific low density will not work around you. Electronics are the first thing to go.
Yeah, and I find that to be that's a real good thing here, that
Love
we've
you,
been
Tim.
blowing things out. Love you, Tim. Thank you
Love Tim and Julie.
for being involved.
Yes.
Because it's a great indicator to see things physically manifesting in this realm,
Yes.
because the frequency is getting so high. So
Lights flicker,
just a casual
You know,
Tuesday.
I don't have to push the button on my
I'm gonna
auto
try one more
start.
caller, okay? Because I really, I'm.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
I'm
we're
gonna
playing
try.
roulette over here.
We
I
are.
don't know
We
if
are.
I
And
want.
it's exciting.
I feel like there's a turd on the other line.
Shh, it's exciting.
All right, let's see.
Aren't we excited, guys? Hang
On
on.
feet.
928. Here we go. Oh. Hello. This is Shana Eva. You're on Hard On Radio. Who are we speaking with? Okay.
I think
he's
I cut
right.
the feed.
He's
All
right.
right,
we got the feed. We
I
got the
blew
feed.
it out. Too much. Okay. Love you guys, and thanks for everyone who called in today and chimed in. Lots of amazing updates that I want to talk about, too. We have our Ascension courses, which are going off the first Friday of every month at Ohm Base from 2 to 4. Obviously, lots of new updates and things that Miss Shana Eva is actually redoing right now. You want to talk about what you've
We
been working
are.
on?
Well, I'm
Let's see.
redoing.
What we got going on?
I'm redoing the Team Lite website.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm really proud and appreciative to be a part of this team. And honestly, I feel all of you are. You are. We maybe just haven't met yet. We haven't physically connected yet in
Yes.
this realm. But those of you who are listening and participating all the time, you are
Our family.
You are our family, and
Yes.
this is why I created Hard On Radio, with much appreciation to Rion, who helped me get that started, and to you guys for listening. But I wanted it to be a community, so we could share and we could get interactive and we can help each other. When I was living in a big city and I felt like I had nowhere to go, I couldn't, even my dream time was taken from me. It's like spilling into my neighbors. I got people above me, below me, the right and the left. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, I felt that I couldn't even feel my own essence. And what got me through was listening to Rion and Alexander and Isabella and all these other Giselle, all these other
Yes.
light warriors out there creating a space that we could share and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. So, that's what I really wanted to do. But Team Light is getting completely revamped and cleaned up. There's so much beautiful content there.
We're gonna use Unite the Collective as an archive for all the old content for you guys. It's just been it's so much data. It's
Yes.
like 8 or 10 years of
Yep.
content. It's
Yeah.
a lot of content.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all of that, because people still dip into it and it's really valuable. We want to streamline it, because this is just we have but I'm speaking for myself, such a huge I feel again, I come from an entertainment background, and I feel spirituality I want it in the forefront of every single thing. Okay, so right now we are connected to media. We're all looking at Facebooks and all of our things, and this is how we are united at this point. It's been a blessing and a curse, but we are able to connect with people across the globe. We're able to see what's happening, and it's shed some light on some darkness, which is scary, and it can be difficult, but it's shedding light
Yes.
is what it's really doing. So we're able to illuminate that. So Team Light to me is going global. This movement, this is a crusade, this is a movement. We have the galactic energies coming in, amplifying and supporting this change. So for me, I've been having dream times where anything that you are thinking, intending, feeling, focusing on, the people that you're spending time with, that is literally braiding into your DNA. That is the dream time. Those are the downloads I'm receiving in dream time. It is physically manifesting the next highest version of yourself. So I feel that this time is a time to get quiet, be very energetically conservative, and sit in meditation so that you can hear what the galactics and what your higher selves and your highest self has to say. If you are continuing the distraction carousel, you won't be able to hear what they're trying to broadcast you.
Yes,
So you
exactly.
need to create the containers. You need to dump all of the old things, release and let go. If the pain is coming up, that's a good thing. Just let it go. Just watch it walk in and watch it walk
You can't
out.
be scared of, you can't fear change. You can't fear. The universe is here to provide for you, but you have to meet the universe halfway. If you see yourself in a new space, on a new balcony, watching the sunset, or a new point of view, you have to be willing to let go of things in 3D to get what you want. You have to be willing to trust that everything will work out. That's the fear. You must have no fear. I am also being asked these things daily, and I have to truly walk my walk. I have to truly step into my power. I have to truly make difficult decisions that are not easy to make, but from my heart, I understand that for me to truly grow at the speed I need to, these changes need to be made.
Right.
And it's a very hard thing. Everyone individually has their own path that they need to walk. My thing is that to constantly say that it's okay to not be your best, that's not okay, and your soul's not okay with that. To have the experience to grow at the speed you deserve, and that counts for all attachments, all things which also play a part in your life. Understand this. To truly step into thy power, you must understand the power which comes from within. Listen to your soul and make decisions upon your life which are only going to bring more abundance and change and to all things around you. It's just that sometimes you can't see that goal manifest until you take that first step in the right direction. And those are the things, those are the days I wish everyone would have. They're not easy days, but at the end of the day, you'll say, thank God I made that decision. It wasn't easy for me. You won't see it until post 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months from then. Oh my God, do you remember that? Oh my God, this was something I needed to do to help everyone around me. So understand this. These choices that you make, you cannot see the grand result of, but you must trust that the universe will provide for you. I'm also going through that myself.
Yes, absolutely. Creating the space
Yes.
for yourself to expand in. How can you expand if you don't create that space?
Yes.
And we've been getting this on all of the cards. It's been saying that the abundance is here. It is here, but your job now is to focus on emptying the containers so that you have the space to receive the gifts of abundance and expansion and evolution. Whew, there's so much energy pounding through here. I'm on fire. So with days away of this solar eclipse, it's so exciting, guys. It is so
Yes.
it is so
You
exciting.
guys make your choices.
Do
if
it
there's
now.
a checklist right now and you guys have things that's under the radar that you have not brought up that you need to say and turn your throat chakra on full blast so that your intent is known, you need to take this day, make those phone calls, make those decisions, and do it today. I just did it. You also need to do it in everyone's life to understand this. If you truly want to grow faster as a family, everyone must have their own space to blossom and grow. Okay? I'm saying this to you in your own way. It could be at work. It could be with your boss. It could be with an ex-friend, a friend, a lover, an ex-girlfriend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever it is for you, a mom, a dad. Take these next days before the solar eclipse. Hit the pause button on your phone. Take a spa day. Take some days off work. Focus on yourself.
Yeah.
You've worked very hard in this incarnation. Take the time to treat yourself to something that this event was set up before we incarnated here. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And what's going on in September is a very big deal. So take that honor that time and space for yourself right now, and understand that right now is the time to work on yourself.
Yes.
Think of that solar eclipse as Gaia resetting, or as the consciousness resetting.
It is. It's a planetary reset.
So as it resets, do not take things from your past and carry them forth if they do not serve you. Understand this.
Absolutely. And I feel that it is so important there's anxiety that's going to be coming up now. That's one of the forms of like this high energy that's coming in. You don't know what to do with it. And it comes in as an anxious feeling. I personally have had a lot of jaw reaction to it, tight jaw, clenching jaws, the frequencies coming in. that anxiety, it's going to perhaps push you to distract yourself more. I'm anxious. Let me put on something to distract myself with. No, the opposite is going to help you. If you feel that coming up, it's a great indicator that you have something to clear, that something's passing through, and it's a moment to get out in nature, go hit the gym, sit quietly in meditation, and transmute whatever that power is that's coming into you. This is a blessing. This is all a really powerful timeline. So again, just sit into it. We are feeling it, and we're here. We love you. We're your brothers and sisters. We feel the same thing. That's
100%.
why we're able to speak to that. And Rion, I know you're looking at the Facebook now. Are there any questions that are coming up?
There are so many of our friends and family, sending in questions. Let me see here.
Yeah, see if there's something we can answer. I know we've got about just about 10 minutes or so left.
A lot of people are just talking about, a lot of people right now, 5 of the...
Yeah, what are they dealing with?
Was basically the after the eclipse of the energies really been kicked up a notch. I said in some of my local live feeds on Facebook that when that explosion happened on the backside of the sun, I think it was July 26th, and when it came in direct alignment with Earth, which was August 1st through August 6th was really the beginning of that solar event, which then had the lunar eclipse, the following Friday, and then obviously leading up to the solar eclipse on August 21st. The main thing I'm trying to express to everyone is that frequency is kind of kicking up, and there's a lot of friends and family that might be going a little cuckoo, cuckoo, is what we like to say. Here's the issue with that. Have compassion.
Yes.
Come from your heart. And if you are in that format where your energy is feeling a little, unbalanced, please do the things in your life that actually cause you to stabilize. Go to the gym. Go for a walk. Do some yoga. Go to the river. Go to the lake. Go to the ocean. Take a day for yourself to recenter yourself, because understanding that the frequency is getting turned up on the whole planet. I talked to people, my friends and family in New Zealand, Australia, China, the UK. My sessions have been Belgium, all over the place this past week. Everyone's going, what's going on? This is a planetary thing. I just want you guys to totally understand that. It's not like a United States thing. It's not just a South American thing. It is the entire planet is getting kicked up a notch in frequency. And when that happens, a lot of things are literally being forced to purge. It's a forced purge. It's not like, I'm going to clear when I feel like it. No. This energy is going to pull the spotlight on you until you address what's been swept under the rug for quite some time. That could be stuff that happened to you in 3D through this life, or it could be some of the stuff that's in your bloodline from your mom and your dad and their mom and dad, and it's been passed down generation to generation. This is a full swing, and I'm just very blessed. Even in my darkest days here, even in the days where, I feel kind of, lame when I'm processing all this upper dimensional stuff and I'm still waking up in a popsicle suit, this is what I want to share with you from my heart. And I think you guys can all resonate with this. Think how much we have done in this just one incarnation. Think of where you are now from where you began. How much experience, how much knowledge have you ascertained since you woke up?
Yes.
And all I can say is that for the good days and for the bad days, I am still very privileged to be here and have the opportunity to work on myself, regardless of the polarity, if it's one of my light selves or night selves. But the fact that I have improved since I've incarnated here from my heart, I just really want to appreciate Gaia and the guardians of this planet and the galactics, which allow this game to take place, to actually truly, from my heart, say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come here and work in such an amazing environment with my friends and family from all over the universe. I love you guys.
Yeah, that resonates with me and everyone so much. Thank you for taking the time to say that.
If it was easy, we wouldn't do it. If it was easy, we wouldn't do it. If it wasn't a challenge,
we'd be like fat cats on some planet somewhere.
It had to be this gnarly for some of us to get here. So I really appreciate that. Thank you from my heart.
Exactly. And you know what? Again, I just want to say, please be energetically conservative as all of this energy moves in and the solar eclipse takes place. There's nothing wrong with going airplane mode, putting a do not disturb sign on your door, and meditate and yoga and whatever is feels good to you, whatever feels like your highest
Have a you day.
frequency. Exact. Have a me day.
Yeah.
And then, as far as the solar eclipse, hey, I also am feeling called to share with you guys that it's a great idea to get together with other beloveds who share the same idea for the future, who have the same level of frequency, that want to make a difference and raise the resonance, get together and have a meditative circle and group. We did that recently with some of our brothers and sisters in Sedona, and it was spectacular.
As the planet resets on the solar eclipse, why don't you insert your consciousness of how you would like the world to change during
Yes.
that reset? So when it reboots back up, that implementation of your highest level of intent and heart and consciousness is reinstilled into the planet. Abundance for all.
Absolutely. So the focus is what you want in your highest manifestation and what you want for the collective in its highest manifestation. And that's where we're going to get the most bang for our buck. And again, this card, I just have to tell you, Our Lady of the Stars, the Priestess of Sirius. I'll post more about it. But my God, she came to bless this.
Yes, awesome.
I want to thank you all so much for joining us. If you liked this format, if you enjoyed calling in and giving questions, I know we had a couple of kinks here, but if you enjoyed this, please comment and let us know your thoughts. And then if you ghost ride and you're not interactive on Facebook and all that, I'm stoked, because that means that you're do not disturb and you're like, you know what?
Awesome.
I'm dropping the mic right now. So, Rion, thank you so much
Absolute
for
pleasure
joining
being here.
Heart on Radio.
Thank you so
We
much.
love you all so much. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday, happy solar eclipse. This is magic. All right, is your heart on?
See you guys on the other side.